Jim, you mentioned Uncle Dave before. The star ratings for WrestleMania weekend have come out. Have you seen any of these?
I have not.
Again, we're going through popular topics.
I'm seeing some stars now, but I think that's because of the head blow that I sustained when I was in my attic earlier trying to prep for the insulation.
I'd be careful with that. But Jim, a lot of people, like, we're going through, you threw me off with the...
So I'm seeing all these stars, they're sparkling around me, but it looks like Dave's living room.
Well, Jim, a lot of listeners have sent in questions in the last few hours about the WrestleMania star ratings from Dave because I guess they want to hear what you have to say about him, but a lot of people have sent this in. WrestleMania Night 1, Saturday, WrestleMania 39, Los Angeles. Austin Theory versus John Cena, 2.25 stars.
What?
You think that's too high, too low? What do you think?
No, well, see, I get Dave, poor thing, I guess as he got older, he's lost brain cells. And he thinks on a very, basic level these days. And if, there's the aggressive tumbling or the combative parkour or whatever that, his favorites do, then he loads it up on stars. But no, John did not work like he did 20 years ago, nor is he going to not only at his age, but also because he's a multi-millionaire fucking movie and TV star and blah, blah, blah. So he wasn't going to be taking any brain busters off the top rope, but he did exactly for Austin Theory what he should have done. Theory looked like $1 million and was there for everything. The finish was perfect and accomplished what it should have done, and nobody tripped and fell down or obviously fucking got lost. So, he's, again, the original scale was 1 star is, glad that's over. 2 stars is, that's about what we expected. 3 stars is, that was really good. And 4 stars was, they tore the fucking house down. But now that he regularly gives 7 fucking stars to obscure girls' matches from Yokohama, it doesn't have any credibility. When you give something 2 stars, that's the equivalent of pissing in its face. So on my scale, I still say Cena and Theory didn't stink, good action, right finish, making a star, building business. All of the people liked it. They didn't like the finish. That was the idea, though. But the people in the building enjoyed what they were seeing. If that can't be a 3-star match on Uncle Dave's 7-star scale of doom.
7 scars.
The 7 scars of doom. But no, if he can't even give Cena and Theory at WrestleMania 3 stars for doing all the right things, I don't know what the fuck he's thinking.
The next match, the men's 4-way showcase tag team match, 3.75 stars.
What?
Now, you didn't watch that match, to be fair.
I didn't watch it, but again, for all the superficial reasons that he watches wrestling, apparently, they did a bunch of moves. It's a fucking 4-way meaningless tag to get 2, 4, 6, 8 guys, a WrestleMania payoff, and not piss off, your tag teams because you had nothing else for them. And the fucking things are pointless, and who gives a shit? But that can nearly be a 4-star match like, wow, they tore the house down, as opposed to John Cena and Austin Theory. This is what I'm talking about. Dave's playing checkers, and we're playing chess.
Well, I guess to compare the two, and again, I enjoyed the match, but the match wasn't it was as close to an AEW style match as you'll see in WWE, where it's about getting big pops for big spots. But like you said, at the end of the day, it's a meaningless match with meaningless teams. The Cena match, although no flips or anything, the story and what it did, do you think that should weigh into the star rating?
Yes, as well as the drawing power of same. You can't tell me that nobody that ordered or bought or watched WrestleMania in whatever manner of distribution. You can't tell me absolutely none of those people bought that or watched it specifically because John Cena was on the show. You can tell me that nobody specifically watched or bought for that four-way tag, and I would believe that. So that we're also weighing into that a little bit as well.
Well, the next match was Logan Paul versus Seth Franklin Rollins. 4.5 stars.
Okay, in all, and again, except for the most, infrequent and just wildly levels above, something that comes along, I don't know why we're going over 4 stars anyway, because 5 was meant to be the goddamn, actual murder in front of our eyes couldn't have torn this fucking place apart any more than this. But I think that was a 4-star match because of the athleticism involved, as well as the heat and the story and the whole 9 yards. We didn't particularly enjoy all the promos leading up to it because of Seth being whatever the fuck Seth is. Yeah. But I can see that being a 4-star match.
In your eyes, you said 5 stars is, I forget the way you put it, like just total destruction, kicking ass.
Well, yeah, just levels above whatever the fuck, because there is no 5-star movie, right? They don't do this. So therefore, it was like just meant to go, holy shit, that you aren't going to see anything like that more than once every year or so.
Is 5 stars?
Now
is it perfection? Do you see it as perfection, a 5-star match?
No, nothing's perfect.
Even in the moment,
perfect.
Even in its time, nothing's perfect.
Even in the moment, it especially if you're watching on video, but even in the moment live, in a pro wrestling match, there is always going to be something that you see that either didn't land right or was oversold or missed or didn't look right or make sense or whatever, that will show you that it's a work. But if they're very minimal or few, then the overall body of the thing, you can get caught up in, but it can't. And the only perfect pro wrestling match would be one that tore the house down with the audience that was watching it, but at the same time, you couldn't see any fucking cooperation or tell anything was a work. That would be the perfect pro wrestling match.
And hopefully it makes a few bucks. Also, while we're at it.
Well, yeah, that's why. Well, I'm assuming that the house that we're tearing down is full, but that, yeah, you've seen those, and in the old days there were the ones that got close, but you've seen those where the people are hopping up and down, and it's a big match, and you've lost yourself, and they get almost all the way through, but there's always something. But that would be the perfect thing.
Solo Sikoa. There's always something.
Well, whatever. But people throwing the babies in the air, you couldn't see through the fucking thing in the whole match. And, goddamn, that would be perfection. It's probably never happened.
Well, Jim, the next match, another one I don't believe you watched. Damage Control versus Lita, Becky Lynch, and Trish Stratus. 2 3/4 stars.
I can't comment because I didn't watch it, and it doesn't sound like it's ridiculous either way. I would remember between 2 and 3 is between about what we expected it to be. And boy, that was really good. So there you go.
Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio, 4 stars.
I can probably see that also for the execution. Remember, we said Dominic looked, that was the one that he looked, better than just about anything else that he's ever done, because obviously it's his father also, and they've got a vested effort in working together as well as they possibly can. But I don't know that that's offbeat. Maybe between 3 and 4, just because, well, even this was one of the main draws of the show, so I don't have a problem with that. Fuck it.
Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley.
Okay, no, wait a minute. Before you say that, this is where, if Uncle Dave is going to be honest with people, he needs to start hauling out the 6 and 7. If he can give Twinkle Toes McFingerbang 7 stars in the Tokyo Dome, he can give the potentially best women's match that's ever been held in the WWE at least 5 or 6, can't he?
4 3/4 stars.
Okay, he can't. And see, this is where, then no women's match can ever get 5 stars in his inflated scale, because if he's given 6 out to this Yahoo and 7 out to Harpo, they can't even get 5. That seems a little stingy of him. I don't know there's ever going to be a better girls match in the WWE until they have their rematch.
I thought it was the best match I've ever seen in North America, as I keep saying it, just because there are some phenomenal matches I used to love from Japan, but I haven't seen anything of this caliber from women in America.
And this was a whole different style, obviously, than the 90s,
yes,
Japanese women. But at the same time, it wasn't that different than the 80s, 90s American male style on except for the moonsault off the top rope. But the working they did that is just above most of the girls' heads. So anyway, we say apparently Uncle Dave is misogynist, or is it misogynistic, or misogynation?
I wouldn't say,
or potentially menage a trois.
Well, I don't know where you're going, but let's get back to these star ratings here. I don't even know how you call this a match. The Miz versus Pat McAfee, 1.5 stars.
Well, I mean, it kind of was what it was. I'm not going to spend my time debating this.
The main event of night 1, the Usos versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, 5 stars.
Again, the only reason I'm going is because, yes, they tore the house down. It was a very good tag team match. People got to finish they wanted. It definitely drew money. Is it something a level above things that you'll see, more than once a year or so, which was the original concept of a 5-star match, as I just said earlier. And maybe that's not it. The reason I said 5 for Charlotte and Ripley is because you're not going to see a girls match that good, for a while, and haven't seen it for a while before. So, but yay, let's give them 4.5 on the corny scale, though. They done a good job.
You see, for a lot of the intangibles you talked about earlier, I could understand. For me personally, I wouldn't have gone 5 stars, but I could understand doing that because the monster pop, it was the big moment, everyone was happy. The guys did a good job, a lot of super kicks, but everyone did good. But how do you not give Rhea and Charlotte at least an equal? I mean, that match tore the house down.
Yeah.
That match took the crowd out of the early part of the main event. They got 5 stars.
I'm just, I'm confused with you.